Good morning. Are you like me and you want to save the world every single day while you're on it, and you're thinking about ways that you can make a difference? I have a few tips. Maybe these are some you are already using, but if not, stay tuned and I'll share some of mine. Start out with this. You just saw that I had some potatoes and things in it. This was a container that had some rice in it, seasoned rice, that I purchased. And it's a cook-in container, so the rice cooked in this container. So instead of tossing it or even recycling it right away, what I did is save it. You can see it's been through a few cookings. And I just cooked those potatoes, I'm making home fries, in my microwave. And then I let them sit in some cold water for a little while to reduce the starch in the potato. And now I'm going to put it back in my drawer and I'm going to keep using it. It's great for just warming up things. You know, like if you have some leftover or a little something you just want to warm up, just chuck it in there and use it. This way it's not a single-use plastic, but that's how it was intended to be. So I'm going to get a lot more use out of it. That means that, you know, less of these are going to go to the landfill from me, which I don't generally buy things in this kind of container. But it just so happened that one was marked down and I said, I want to try this. So I did. This is another thing. I buy these tortillas because I like to have a burrito every now and then. I use them for different things. And when it's empty, it's a nice little Ziploc type bag. I don't buy Ziploc bags anymore. I don't buy aluminum foil and I don't buy saran wrap. I do buy wax paper, but what I'm doing with these is once they're all gone, if there's anything in it, I will wipe it out really well, but then I put it in my freezer. And I also use other things. I save in my freezer regular sliced bread bags and these little wax paper bags that come inside like breakfast cereal or crackers or something like that. Shake the crumbs out, put them in the freezer because the freezer stops any bacteria from growing in there. And then I use these to just store leftovers. Like, say for instance, I'm going to order to pack a sandwich. If I'm going to go on a hike and I want a sandwich, I'll pack it in this. And then after it's been used one or two times and it doesn't look like it's usable anymore, then I get rid of it. You can actually cook in these too in the microwave. I have put like a ear of corn or a potato, like a russet potato that I'm going to make a baked potato. Just stick it in there and fold the end over and it cooks. Once you've cooked in it, you have to get rid of it. And then same thing with the bags. I use these for like, okay, let's say that I've got some, say, fresh broccoli or something like that I brought home from the store and I want to store it in my fridge. Then I'll pull these out and stick the things in there and keep it in my fridge. I also use this for like when I'm going on a picnic or something. If I want to haul out a few food items, just stick them in there. So that's ways to reuse these things so that they're not single use. This may not look very organized, but this is where I keep it. I keep them in the door of my fridge, just like that. And there's inside the door and they're very handy to get to. Okay? Oh, while I'm in here, here's another thing I do. I freeze bottles, plastic bottles of water, freeze them, and leave them in the freezer. I can use them in my cooler as one of those freezy packs. I have a couple of freezy packs that I've had for years, but sometimes they start to leak and you have to get rid of them. So these are, you know, they're not toxic. Of course, I don't want to drink that water because I don't know about this bottle. But that's another thing I do. Just freeze these. And another thing that helps with is if your power goes out and your fridge is, you know, going to sit there a day or two, this helps keep what's in your freezer cool, you know, until the power comes back on. So that's another good reuse of a plastic container. And here's one of the wax papers in use. I grew all these banana peppers, more than I could eat in one go. I have so many. Jalapeno, I'm always having peppers. Over here I've got a bell pepper that I just picked because the squirrels are trying to rip it apart. They're destroying the plant right now. They need these leaves for their nest. So I just cut the top because I'm going to bring it in anyway and overwinter it. It's kind of in the shade. You can't see it. Okay. There's the pepper. So I cleaned these, put them in there in a single layer, and just froze them right in the wax paper. Pretty cool, huh? You can tape it up, do whatever you want to with it at the top. This is another thing that I saved because I don't know what happened, but they stopped taking recycled glass here at my recycle center. I wrote to them and said why, and they said that the people that, I think it was Sunoco, was the place that was recycling the glass for them, stopped doing it because it was costing more to recycle it than it was worth. So they weren't making money. It's all about money. Anyway, so in order to just not keep throwing glass away, I save different ones and I use them for storage containers. And the great thing about it, okay, like this is some garbanzo beans that I opened up and heated up just to put on my salad. You can take the top off, of course, and then you can cook in them in the microwave. You can heat things up. And this one's just got a cut onion in there that I'm, keep in the fridge. So these are great ways to reuse glass, and you don't have to keep buying storage containers. They're very handy. And let's say you wanted to also make something that you're going to take on a picnic that has liquid in it. You can put it in there. It could be put right in the cooler. So these are very handy. I also make my own pickled peppers. This one is pickled banana peppers, or sweet banana peppers, and this one is jalapenos pickled. And I just use reusable jars. These didn't go in a hot water bath because you can store them for a long time in your fridge in a pickling, juice, which I make myself. It's just sugar and vinegar and water. That's all it is, and maybe a little salt. So yeah, that's another way to reuse jars. This one is a biggie. When you go to the store and you want to buy, say this was for a holiday, and so I got this peanut trio bowl, and look at this container that it came in. It's quite large, and it's meant to be a single-use container, but I saved it, and so I can use this to serve, like if I'm having people over and I've got a variety of things I want to put in there, I can just, it's got 3 sections. How neat is that? It's also good, like if you're going to go to a covered dish thing where you have to bring something and you're going to bring 3 small things, you can separate it with this. You can work on taking the label off. I don't usually bother because they don't come off well. And here's another thing. When you go fast fooding, sometimes you have to end up with this kind of stuff. This is from Zaxby's. It was a salad that we got to go one time for somebody. And look at the container. It's a really good container. It's great for storing leftovers. You can't cook in it, but you can store things in the fridge. You can take things to a barbecue or to a, like I say, a covered dish. It's simply a good way to store food. You can keep it cold. You can pack that in the cooler if you can get it fit in your cooler. And same thing here. I can imagine this with like potato salad on one side, coleslaw on the other, and maybe olives and pickles and things in that one. So it's a great resource for having storage containers that you don't buy and that you reuse so they don't go straight to the landfill. So I've had this one, I know I've had it 2 years. I think we brought that salad back when it was Mom's leftovers because she couldn't eat her whole meal. And this is, I've had this since, I think it was Christmas before last, because last Christmas I didn't host anything. So that's another way just to keep things from going to the landfill, stop single-use plastic, and then when these things are, say, destroyed or split or whatever happens to them and I can't reuse them, I will recycle them. Alright, yum. I think my breakfast is ready. Made some home fries in the cast iron skillet, and I'm going to be using this baby. Alright, anyway, I hope you'll take some of these tips to heart and use it so that you're not creating a bigger footprint. Try to keep it as small as possible. I have a lot of other tips that I will probably share over time. So those are just some that I use in the kitchen. Alright, hope you have a great day. Bye for now.